Good morning, everybody. I'm going to try to do this in one take, but let me say this. When you talk about programming, do you really understand what it all means? I know most of you do, but some of you do not. So I'm just going to touch base on that in a second, very carefully right after this. And I'm not talking about programming like making a program on your computer and doing some kind of hobo jobo shit on your server. No, I'm talking about the mind, programming of the mind. Let me tell you this in just a quick second, but please first press that like button and that subscribe button because that helps us grow. That's how the search engines actually rank you, and they put you up a little bit higher on the pedestal, giving you more exposure. So having said that, by the way, have a good morning, have a cup of coffee. That's what I'm doing right now. I just woke up and the first thing on my mind was programming. It's what I was dreaming about, sort of. Anyway, programming is simply this: the mind. They're programming our mind. And you know what? These these geniuses, I mean these evil criminal geniuses are actually geniuses because they figured out the power of the television. The television is the main propaganda tool used today, along with internet. Those two, and number three is your cell phone once again connected to the internet. So it's the internet. So propaganda. Why I say programming and propaganda? Programming simply is the television program. They call it a program for a reason. The reason is they program and condition your and my mind. It's all about that. And these evil geniuses actually, again, mastered it. That's what they do. Now, you talk about politics, for example. You're talking about the running for candidacy of the president or the prime minister of Canada, which is all the same crap anyway. It doesn't matter. They're not really leaders. They're just puppets in the long run. They're controlled by the man behind the curtain or the woman behind the curtain, if you will, whoever that might be. And let's see. Let me just name a few: Soros, Schwab, Gates. No, do I have to go on? Anyway, you get the picture. These politicians are puppets, but think of them not as politicians. Think of them in the running for office of the governmental office somewhere down the line for an election of one form or another. Consider them, if you will, as thoroughbred horses. Yeah, okay. I know some of them break a leg, you shoot them. I get it. But anyway, they're thoroughbred horses. So you enter horses. You're the owner of horses. You enter them, two of them, four of them, six of them, in a race. But before that, you get to shoe them, you feed them, you groom them, you train them, you over and over to do a certain thing. And then you put them out onto the race, into the gates, and they run. Now, if you're the owner of all two, four, or six horses, what do you care? Why do you care who wins? You're a winner either way. This is the exact same thing happening today in politics. What's been happening for a while, but in politics right now. These guys are not single individual people running for democracy, for you. They're owned by the same stable, by the same owners. So they don't give a shit who wins. They control them either way. That's a fact. That's a fact. Now, the other thing is that I want to touch base about is about police. The people keep talking to me and sending me instant messages about the police. Oh, the police are here to protect you. They're here to safeguard your best interest because, they're here to serve and protect you. When's the last time you've seen a police car that said to serve and protect? I remember in the day they used to say to serve and protect. I remember when I was a kid that I used to love to go and see a police officer. Hi, you're waving up, you're happy. It was a sight to see. Today, I get scared when they pull me over. Yeah, I get nervous, really nervous, because I don't know what to expect. You remember Ottawa? What happened in the protest? What Trudeau did to his own people? The horses that ran over old women and crippled women? Horses? And then they laughed about it on social media. They actually did. The police went on Facebook and laughed about it. Oh, you know what? We should use this, put it in our books to do it for training for future reference. We did such a great job. We ran over that old woman, man. Just almost stomped her head to the ground, man. Beat up people, shooting rubber bullets at people. These were protesters or demonstrators who disagreed with Trudeau. They disagreed with the guy, so he said, screw you, I'm going to really show you who's got power. Me. I'm going to put you in the ground. I'm going to give you the boots. And he did. He broke every rule of the Canadian Constitution for your right for freedom of expression, for freedom of speech, and protest and demonstrations. That's not only in Canada, but that's happening in the United States also. So anyway, going back to the police. The police are not here, never were meant to protect you or me. The police were created for one sole reason, for one reason only, to protect the corporations. That's what they're here for. Don't you ever forget that. And they're here because they need to protect it. In the old days, back in England, they were protecting shopkeepers, the store owners, the businessmen, the high-end tycoons, the politicians, those with power, those who have any kind of money or influence. They protected them from you and me. That's the truth. Now, in the court system, you think, well, I'm going to get a lawyer and then I'm going to beat these guys in court. Are you aware that the lawyers, before they pass the bar, they have to swear allegiance first and foremost to the courts? Not to you. Not to you. To the courts. So this thing is basically corrupt from the very get-go. And people still are delusioned and think, well, you know what? We've got a democratic system. So we could actually vote these people out. Well, sort of, kind of, maybe. But what is democracy? Democracy is simply that. Now, it's a fine word, just like communism. It's a fine concept. It's a really good communism is actually a good concept. Show me your arguments below and I'll listen to them. But democracy is also a good concept in theory. In reality, all democracy really is the mob rules. So, give you an example. You've got 5 people sitting in a room, and 4 of them, and you take a vote, say, okay, who's going to be cleaning shoes for the next week? Let's take a vote. Is it going to be Kevin or John or Frank or Peter? And they take a vote. So 4 out of 5 vote against Peter. Peter's going to be the one. Well, guess what? Peter says, no, I don't want to be the one. Well, there is no democracy anymore. The majority, or the mob, ruled. Well, those people with brown eyes, they should be all eliminated or in prison because we have 51% that said we don't like brown-eyed people anymore. So they will be sent to prison and or our servants or slaves. Democracy. Well, we do it for democracy. The mob rules. Don't you believe it? And when it comes to picking a politician, a true president or prime minister of any country, you have no vote. You only win the populace vote, which means absolutely diddly squat. So anyway, for more things like this, please leave your comments below. Let's talk about it. Just remember, look, I don't even have a proper microphone or anything. I'm in my living room making this thing. You know why? Because I find this to be very refreshing, because I vent my thoughts and my frustrations in the morning with a cup of coffee with like-minded individuals like you. So I do it because it makes me feel better, and I actually, when it comes to in the future, when my grandchildren ask me, they say, Grandpa, what did you do when we were in this predicament and all that? Well, I sat on a couch, I opened a beer, and I changed the channel. No, not me, not this old bull-headed fart. I actually said something, I did something. I could say, no, I actually spoke out. I was not afraid to question authority. And that's what I like to be associated with, people like you who are not afraid to question authority, who follow each other. Like-minded individuals should stay together. All I ask is question. Ask questions. Don't be afraid. This is what they want you to be, is scared of the government. The government wants you to be afraid. When you're afraid of the government, that is dictatorship. When the government is afraid of you, that, my friends, is democracy. So let's get back to that old scenario where they fear us, not us fear them. So please, once again, hit the like button and subscribe. And I put a link below to a GoFundMe thing. I need a new microphone and stuff like that, and I can't afford it. I'm on fixed income. I can't do it. But I can do it with the help of you. So a few bucks, a few coins into the jar, cookie jar, would help us a great deal to expand and share more information with you. I look forward to talking to you next time. May your God go with you.